spaces around here at the South Bronx Media and Technology Studios for BronxNet, but there's a space we haven't shown you yet. I want to take you down the hall where we can check out Studio B, where we're able to transport you from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. Can you imagine doing a podcast on Mars? I mean, we've got such technology and amazing things that are happening here at BronxNet, and it's all built with you in mind, the community. Now, here in the South Bronx, we're gonna blow your mind, okay? So let's go in and take a quick peek at everything happening here.
Tech equity is important. So we built these studios in the South Bronx for people to do innovative storytelling, immersive media studios. If you dream it, you can build it at BronxNet. Aspiring media makers, game developers, filmmakers, documentarians, media makers of all kinds. We have classes for you. Timothy's organizing great classes. The programming team with Bernardo are scheduling amazing multi-platform stories. Citizen journalists are coming to BronxNet. And our community affairs is on the ground with Audrey here and Cody. Essentially, we want to let people know that BronxNet has built studios for you. And we got classrooms, and I wish we had a telestrate monitor so we can sort of plan maybe a conference or classroom where we could talk about this more.
Wait. Hold on, Michael. I thought you said that if you can dream it, you can build it here at BronxNet.
You know, you're right. That's why we're stronger together at the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx. Be a part of positive transformation at the BronxNet Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx. We build studios for you. That's right. BronxNet.org for more information.
It's been a long time since the Bronx was burning. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the rich stories from our community continue to captivate and entertain audiences from the Bronx and beyond. Welcome to Emerging Media Makers. This show was created to shine a light on the talent and vision of BronxNet's access producers. Emerging Media Makers, your passion lives here.
What's up, creative family? Welcome back to another episode of Emerging Media Makers. My name is Timothy Stone Dancer Coleman. I am the Director of Education for BronxNet and your host for Emerging Media Makers. Our goal is to shine a light on the amazing talents of our certified producers, as well as to introduce you to how easy it is to get your creative ideas in front of the world. By participating in one of our certification classes, you too could become a producer of your own show at one of our 3 BronxNet TV locations. We have studios at Mercy University in Westchester Square, in Carman Hall on the campus of Lehman College, and here at BronxNet's Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx. We have certification classes in field production and in studio production that will teach you the basics of TV production, plus a host of other classes that support you on your journey of content creation. Everyone starts off with a free class called Masterclass, How to Unleash Your Ideas. In this class, you will get an overview of how previously certified community members have gone on to produce their own original programming. We leave time to hear your questions and help you move on to classes that are best suited for your needs. If you're a person who is hesitant to take that first step into TV production because perhaps you don't want to be in front of the camera as a host, then rest assured there are several positions available that need your support, like audio engineering, set design, maybe you want to operate the camera or do floor management. There's so much to choose from. Check out BronxNet.org/education for more information and find out how easy it is to start producing your original idea for the Bronx and beyond. When we come back, I have an amazing certified producer to introduce you to, and they're going to share their personal story with you so that you can then check out their show on BronxNet TV. We'll be right back.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. 55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. 34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit BronxNet.org to learn more.
Welcome back, Creative Family. Timothy Stone Dancer Coleman here, hosting Emerging Media Makers. Now, as I told you before the break, today we have two amazing certified access producers. Up first is Patricia Hazell. Now, just like the theme song of Patricia's Potpourri, Patricia Hazell is a native New Yorker. Patricia was born to Caribbean American parents who benefited from being American citizens. After receiving bachelor and master's degrees from Queens College, Patricia went on to receive a degree in supervision and administration from the College of New Rochelle. Now, I don't want to blab on because she's here, she's fantastic, and I want you to hear from her yourself. So please join me in welcoming Miss Patricia Hazell to the show.
Well,
Miss Patricia, welcome, welcome, welcome.
thank you, and I appreciate you calling me Patricia by my mother and father's given name. However, my last name is Hazell with pizzazz.
Yes, ma'am. Hazell, I will never forget it.
2 L's. I had to fight for that second L all my life. And my father said that there are Hazels that are related to us, but they were so poor, they had to sell one of their L's. And they started out being Hazels. And
Okay, we got a lively one here, folks. All right, so so how about this? Can you please, let's start from the beginning and give the folks just a short synopsis of who you are and where you're from. Where did you grow up?
I am an original, a real Harlem black girl, growing up 123 West 115th Street between Lenox and St. Nicholas Avenue. And when you came into that block at the beginning, back in the day, it says, you are entering the block of the Imperial Knights, which means that there was just a gang, a gang. But I enjoyed so much growing up in Harlem. I had a good time. We had a Mr. Bill Spann, our PAL, and you see I'm getting emotional when I talk about him. He was a college student that came to Harlem to enrich our lives every summer. And that's where I met my best friend, where it says Harlem plays the best basketball in the world. We played volleyball against each other, but I enjoyed growing up in Harlem. That's and beautiful. When I was, I got a fellowship from LIU for math and science, and I had to write something about my life. So I wrote about growing up in Harlem, and this professor across the top of my paper said, everything looks good in retrospect. And you can see I'm still a little hurt by that because it wasn't retrospect. I still enjoy my Harlem upbringing. I still enjoy my Harlem friends. And I know the food tastes better, well, not better, but best in Harlem.
That's right. Well, I think part of what I received from what you just said is that there are always people who are going to try and control our story and try and project their opinion about what they assume about our upbringing or where we're from or our zip code. They're going to try and project that onto us as if we should look at where we come from from their perspective. So I love how you say you still love where you came from, how you grew up, what you were eating, all the friends and all the things that were going down. So now, what brought you to BronxNet? Like, were you always interested in the arts? Were you always telling stories from that time at LIU where you wrote that paper? Were you always telling stories and always moving towards sharing kind of your own unique story with the world? How did that come about?
Okay, I just ended up at LIU for a fellowship, but I am a Queens College girl,
Okay.
and I am a part of the Queens College SEEK program, Search for Education, Elevation, and Knowledge. And Arthur Eve was kind of an author of that program, but his was the HEOP program, but SEEK was Percy Sutton, and other people got the SEEK program together. And it talk about how fantastic it was.
And so, but were there people involved in these programs that inspired you to say, you know what, I'm gonna get up here in front of this camera and show rich culture and the tribes of the world? Like, what was it that made you? Well, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of folks sit on the couch and they're watching TV and they're like, oh, you know, if I were making a show, I would do this, or if I had my turn, I would do that. What made you step up into the spotlight?
Well, I was telling, well, I have to tell, you know how they say behind every man there's a good woman?
That's right.
Well, behind this good woman, there's a fabulous man.
I love
and he's been so inspirational to me. And it's somebody that I can talk to and somebody that I can say match my brilliance.
Go on and say it. We receive it. It's all good.
Okay, but what happened was I was on the way to Cuba. And that was one of my first years when I was taking the course at BronxNet. And my cousin Helen Roberts said to me, you know, when are you retiring, you know, from the Department of Education? And she says, well, before you retire, find something that you would love to do, because you don't want to retire and, you know, fine. And as I had said just a little bit earlier, I took a lot of communications courses at Queens College.
Right.
And one of my inspirations was one of the guys, the professors, Malcolm Black. And he said that he helped with the taming of the shrew with Ron O'Neal. Now, see, I'm from the Superfly generation too. So when he said Ron O'Neal, I said, "Whoa!" You know. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So tell the folks the name of your show and when they can catch it on BronxNet.
Now, the name of my show is Patricia's Potpourri. Pattricia spelled the Caribbean way because you can see who I am. P-A, tree, T-R-E-E, S-H-A, okay? And potpourri because it's an assortment of all different kinds of things and all the wonderful people. And I'm almost in tears again because I have met so many interesting people in my life. I have been in a bus, in the library, in a restaurant, or just walking in a room, like walking in here, meeting so many interesting people that I want to envelop, you know?
Yes.
So
the name my grandmother would give that, the title my grandmother would give that, she would say, well, you know, Patricia's never met a stranger. Right? It's that you're so warm that you just drink people in. I love it.
I know that. I heard Will Rogers said that also too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel blessed. That's what it is. It's my great-grandfather's blessing, my Bahamian great-grandfather's blessing.
I appreciate every second that we just had. Unfortunately, I have to wrap this up a little bit.
Do we have to go?
Listen, I would have you on for the whole hour, but it's only 30 minutes in the first place. And, you know, look, folks, we got a Harlem girl. We got ourselves a Queens College girl. We've got ourselves a firecracker, like you can easily see. So please check out Patricia's Potpourri here on BronxNet. We will be right back after these messages. Welcome back, Creative Family. Thanks so much for staying with us. Now, our second guest for today's show, your mind is going to be blown. I hope that you take a moment to check out his show. I saw it. I can't get enough of it. His name is Feerce Truth Seeker. He's an American Indian with DNA ties and genealogical lineage to the Arawak, Garifuna, and Cherokee nations. Now, I might have butchered that slightly, so I'm gonna let him correct me when we get him on camera, all right? Y'all gonna have to just forgive me and love me for it, all right? Now, he's a researcher, book author, television producer, spoken word poet, musician, and practitioner of the healing arts. He is also the producer and host of the BronxNet public access television show, The Red Road East, which is an Indigenous program dedicated to archiving and preserving the history, legacy, and culture of the Aboriginal people of the Americas, east of the Mississippi and the Caribbean. He is one of the organizers and MC of New York City's first annual Indigenous Peoples of the Americas Parade. Please help me welcome and give a true Bronx shout out to Feerce Truth Seeker. How are you, sir?
Good, and yourself?
All right, I'm doing great. Thank you for all of your grace and mercy. The words I messed up, I need you to help educate me and everybody who's watching. It's always a teachable moment and a chance to learn more and dig deeper into the culture. So I'd love to start with a quote that I've heard over the years, that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so I would love for you, also being part Indigenous myself, I would love for you to share a little bit about your origins, how you became aware of your tribes and your lineage, and then bring us forward from that point. So where were you born?
Okay, I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, the same block as Biggie Smalls.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So how about all right? That's dope. All right. And then at what point did you make it up to the Bronx?
Okay, so basically, I didn't get to the Bronx until 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And your family is originally from New York as well?
Okay, well, my family, my maternal side is from the Caribbean.
Okay.
And my father's side is not from New York, but actually from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a huge mix. So at what point were you curious and you intentionally found out about your heritage, or did it happen by accident, like you were at a family cookout and folks started talking and sharing information? How did you learn about your heritage?
Okay, well, basically it was something that the family was always talking about, so I kind of grew up knowing it. But later on I started becoming more curious. So I would sit down with my parents and my grandparents and I would pick their brains,
Yes.
but that wasn't until like I was a teen, you know, my late teens, you know. And I started off trying to do genealogy.
Okay.
And I got a lot of genealogy from my grandmother. And it basically gave me a start. I was basically trying to trace lineage going to Africa, but I found a lot of roadblocks, and I found this book called Black Genealogy
Okay.
by a guy named Charles Bloxton. And in the book, he was saying, you know, don't try to go all the way back because, you know, you may not find those records. You know, start here. Right. And you're lucky, you know, if you'll be able to do that.
Right.
You know,
right.
so, I was very disappointed, you know, but, you know, it gave me a way to find my lineage that's right here. And so it basically, I started doing more digging, going to the county and, you know, digging up birth certificates and death certificates and marriage certificates.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. That's intentional, okay? That
Right.
definitely falls under the definition of intentionally looking and seeing where you're from and who all of your ancestors were that helped kind of form who you are today.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. So how did you find out about BronxNet?
Okay, well, I was a YouTuber, and I
Okay.
had a YouTube channel. And at the same time, while I was doing that, I was a student at Lehman College. And so I basically wanted to expand from, you know, my video experience to doing something a little bigger scale.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I was looking at BronxNet, and I saw that they gave classes.
Right.
But being a student at Lehman College since 2012, I never knew that BronxNet was right there at Lehman College.
Right.
And so when I looked at the address, it said, you know, Lehman College. I said, what? All this time, BronxNet is right here under my feet? And so that's when I said, oh man, I'm gonna sign up for these classes. So I met with Marissa White. I think she's no longer with us anymore, is what I've been told.
Right.
But I met with her, and you know, she got me to becoming an intern. And I was an intern here at BronxNet before I had my own show.
See, that's powerful, and I love the path of that because there are a lot of folks that don't know, that don't have the courage to actually take the opportunities that are before them and become an intern in a space, right? This is how people find their purpose. You just try something out, right? It doesn't
Exactly.
necessarily have to be a paid job. You go and you try something out and you see if you like it, you meet some people, you learn some new things, you wind up over here, over there, and then this led you to actually wanting to do your own show and tell your own story, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Will, who's on the controls now, he's working at BronxNet now. Him and I started out here as
that's
interns.
Great. We
were
love
both
Will. No, he's
interns.
fantastic.
Yeah.
This dude is fantastic. And I always say, you know, it takes a lot of people to get one person in front of the camera. And so it's really important the people that you have in your inner circle. It's important the people that you have surrounding you while you're doing things like this. The energy, right? Like you can feel that good energy even if they're not in the same space with you. So now, your tribes, I want to just say really quickly, when you decided, so you're an intern at BronxNet, you decide to do a show, like how did you form what the content of your show was going to be? How did those ideas come together for you?
So actually, I had two shows in the beginning. I had a show called New World Sounds, which is a show where I highlight people in the entertainment industry from the whole diaspora, Caribbean music, R&B, Latin music, you know, the Haitian music, the whole diaspora, you know. And that was one show. And then I had the Red Road East, which is the Indigenous show. And that show was inspired, again, by the YouTube channel that I already had.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's really powerful. It also shows like another layer of your talent because creating content for YouTube is not the same as creating a TV show.
That's true.
Right? So there's a bunch of skills that you had to take on, right, and add to all of the great things that you were already doing in order to create your TV show. I saw an episode of your show, and I was like, I can't wait to meet this person.
Wow.
It was phenomenal, and it was almost like a powwow. It was like a big group that you had gotten together down in Manhattan, and everyone from all these different tribes got a chance to kind of speak and share something positive and powerful, and it was amazing. I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch every episode of
parade.
this. Yes, yes. I was
Okay.
like, I gotta watch every episode of this. So tell the folks, where can they find your channel? And are you still doing both shows now?
No, I'm just doing the Red Road East now. I would like to, but time just doesn't permit.
Understood. Yeah, it's a huge commitment. And so what channel is your show on, and when can folks see it?
So basically, my show is, it airs on BronxNet on channel 69, and it's the first Sunday of every month at 3:30 p.m.
Listen, I wish we had more time. You have
That's
dropped
it?
a few $1 million nuggets that I would love to dig into. We have a real short show here at Emerging
man.
Media Makers, but we do have a podcast called Podvolution, and I'd love to have you come and spend a half hour with us and really share more about yourself and your background. Would that be cool?
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
man. Dope,
Thanks
dope,
for having
dope.
me.
No problem at
Yeah.
all. Folks, we'll be right back after this message. Thanks for staying with us.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city, and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
Okay, creative family, that wraps up yet another episode of Emerging Media Makers. Thank you so much for joining us. Of all of the things that are vying for your attention, I just want to say that we appreciate your focus. Don't forget to check out bronxnet.org/education and start your TV production journey today. Be well.